Nnamdi Kanu fires back at Governor Wike. See his message to him. Following the reports from Sahara reporters that Obigbo women were forced to wear underwear for 4 months in the army detention camps, Inter-Society revealed that some of the women who were released after a prolonged legal intervention are feared to have contracted infectious diseases such as the sexually transmitted disease, which some of them said that they were also raped at the detention camp. This is very inhumane if this report by the Inter-Society is true. How could women be allowed to stay for months without changing underwear, risking contracting infections as a result of the crime in which they are not guilty of? Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Biafran group, after reading the news, blasted Governor Wike for such inhumane treatment. Below is the screenshot. So the screenshot with his tweet says, anyone close to Governor Wike should tell him that till the last days of his miserable life, he will be hunted down for all the atrocities he spearheaded against my people at Obigbo. He will be hunted by legions domestically and internationally, and it will be scorched earth and fire. Okay? Wow. Wow. This is a whole different... Let me just read this again. So, Ogbo women were forced to wear underwear for 4 months in the army detention camps. And they were raped and they contracted sexually transmitted diseases or infections now. Wow. Oh, someone says, oh, of course, one of the clout chasers says, I blame Buhari for keeping this useless Nnamdi Kanu alive. Only me can waste him if I see him. Oh, wow. This person has his profile picture here and it's like, you are very, very confident. You're very confident. This person got 39 replies and people cussed him back. So yeah, we don't need to go through that. They're not worth the 5 minutes of fame. Someone says, Wike suddenly became wild for political gain. What a pity. True. Someone says, please, can you keep quiet at Nnamdi Kanu? Your mouth has passed your action. You're seriously not doing well. Please. Someone says, are you people aware that Obigbo is still on curfew from October till now? Wow. Someone says, he who goes by the sword will die by the sword. Wike, we never rule this country. Underline my word. Like, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's sad, but realistically, will these women get justice? Unlikely. Because again, we're not in a country that enforces the law, so these stories, unfortunately, are just stories, and because the people need to change. I think for a long time we've not been holding the government accountable, and yeah, it just is what it is. It's not like all of a suddenly, the government now takes responsibility for what they've done, and their negligence. Not like, it just doesn't make sense. The law has not been applied. It only applies when it suits them, and unfortunately, with these women get justice, it's not likely to happen. Somebody says, nobody is as useless as your useless father. The wicked shall never go unpunished. I must... Okay, please. Someone here says, this time Biafran war will start in Enugu and Imuhia. Yeah, it's just bad. It's bad. Yeah, I don't even know what to say because, yeah. Someone has, but all these news, the human rights are saying it and they kept silence. Now we're fighting for our freedom from slavery from the Nigerian military. Nobody would blame us if we decide to do it by force. Exactly. It's sad, but again, only you can save yourself, please. Only you can save yourself. So I don't know. Everyone needs to come and collect sense and open their eyes and literally understand that it's bigger than we think, and we cannot be depending, because we're gonna compromise. You think there's any proper justice in the world? People are out here doing it for their gains and for the image and all that. So again, Nigerians need to change it for the governments, and that's it. Because they're really underestimating us, because years and years, they understand these things. These people have been here, and I'll keep saying it, some of them are older than Nigeria itself. So how do you think they'll have respect for the country and its citizens? These people have been in government and have watched generation from generation to generation, and they've seen the changes, and every single time they've been able to keep them quiet. So when it comes to this system of oppression, they know how to do it perfectly, and that is why us, we're not going to be added to their statistics and to their numbers of years that they've oppressed people. Again, with the NSAS process, there was placards saying that, they effed, if you know what that means, they effed with the wrong generation. Because what? We're not going to take their BS. They want us to chop that, but we're not going to chop it, because it's not going to work. And it's sad, because it's like, these things will only happen when we actually come together. And that is why, if you see, the governments are so desperate, as in they're working 247 to try and distract us, to try and put in divisive tactics, because they know that in our hearts we've not really sorted out the problem of selfishness and hatred towards one another. We all have it. The thing is, they know what to do. They know how to make it a tribal war, and that will trigger every single person to just clench up and be like, you see, this is the reason why I don't like these people. This is the reason I don't like these people. When it's actually the government that we should change it for. That's it. You have to change it for them, because they're underestimating the people, and it showed very, very well. It played out very, very well in the NSAS protest. Nobody was expecting it. The government was not expecting it, and they looked like fools. They really did, because everything just failed woefully. Their plans to change the narrative, the proof was online. We saw the kind of bullets that they used to shoot at citizens. So these people were not prepared, and we saw how they were shaken. And then on top of that, the COVID-19 palliatives and everything was just getting exposed, and they couldn't handle it. They actually could not handle it, and that's why they literally be coming up with, so like, people are being killed, and then a man called Fashola literally walks on the toll gate after almost 3 days after investigation had taken place, after they've cleaned up everything, and all of a suddenly there was a camcorder there. How did it arrive? It wasn't like, okay, fine, it was actually attached to the building of the toll gate, or its body. It was literally found on its own. And apparently that would have taken evidence, and there was a fire, so it just lasted through that. Does that make sense? So again, they will literally make up stories. They will literally cook up so many lies to distract us, and sometimes we fall for it, and it's embarrassing. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.